Hey you guys, this is Chicken Man, as I said, immediately back on Day the Bird Stood Still. So the last part 5, in my opinion, I think this is one of the better parts of the book. It was really terrible, those two people, but they come back again and again in the story and actually become one of Mish's weaknesses, is his memory of that. And it causes him some sleepless nights, and I guess that's enough of a spoiler on that. So let's get right back into it. I quickly decide to rally them and get them fighting for a proper cause. I walk up to them and say, "I know some of you want to rid the world of Amkino because you hate him. Alas, hate is not the reason to fight. I want you all to fight, but not because you hate him, but because you love all people and do not want him to hurt them as well. I do not want to hurt anyone, but I will hurt him because it will defend more people from getting hurt." They start shouting not of bloodlust, but of hope and care, because when the world becomes a safer place, their descendants will thank them of the better world, for we will strike at his heart. I lead the men many miles until the sun starts setting. We decide to set up camp in a well-sheltered group of trees. The men collect firewood and pile it into the middle of our camps with the beds of leaves. We have had nothing to set up a fire with, so they called me up because they think that I have powers over fire. Man, if Cluck was alive, this would be so easy. If you guys read the previous sections of my book, you would know why. And, well, while we get into here, if you have been checking up and you were wondering on Mishes' backstory, this part right here, in a few paragraphs, is gonna answer a lot of the questions about Mishes' past. It might not answer all of them, but it will answer a lot of them. I go up because I haven't seen the limits to my powers yet. I attempt to summon fire, and I feel it coursing through me. As the fire was about to be unleashed, I pictured the couple standing there helpless right before I had smashed them. Then I saw me just about to smash them. The corruption of Amkino played an evil streak in my eyes. Yet in his eyes I saw something which I never had before. In my own eyes burned a fire, the fire that marks a true warrior. The same fire was in the old eyes of mine, except his missed the honorable care that also marks a warrior. This is where Amkino is off his eyes do not burn with care. He would sacrifice anything just to secure his own well-being, and this works to my advantage. I wake up. Everything was burnt, the forest reduced to mere ash. The people were huddled around me. One walks up to me. I see nobility and honor in his eyes. He is obviously a well-seasoned protector of his people. He says the word hello with an odd accent, one that brings me back to the days of youth. Mrs. hometown, long before it had been destroyed. He came on the boat from England. All of the children were amazed at the large man that walked on in a full metal suit with a massive cross welded into his chest plate and a massive sword strung on his back. The children pretended they were warriors, hacking and slashing imaginary swords at their peers. I would have, but I was not accepted by the human children. I had feathers and a beak. They ridiculed me and kicked me out of everything that they had ever done. Egg and Cluck were with me, though, my younger brothers, when we were unexplainably placed in this world. The two being twins, however, they were connected in a way that only twins were. I always felt I was always the third wheeler with them around. Yet the only other person that accepted me was Master, the man that found us. He has told us that the only one that could have put us here was God, and that he had done it for a reason. He expected great things from me being the eldest, and was the only person that would come to be a parent to me. Oh, Master, he had loved us so much. After the man from England settled down for a few days, he came to the house beside the church. He talked with Master for a bit, then looked over at me interested, and I thought a teasing was coming. He said, "Well, God made us all the way He wanted. Your feathers do not shake me, for I see in your eyes that there is honor. This honor puts you with the best of men." We quickly became friends. While Egg and Cluck were learning just what they could do together, the man who I learned to be named Matthias taught me the honorable deeds of a knight. I quickly became valiant, a hero of the village. Most of my deeds were making sure children behaved and didn't steal. One day, almost a year after he came, a big bull broke out of its pen. It rampaged down the streets towards where I was in the town. I saw a woman in a red dress and replied, it saw a woman in a red dress and replied with anger. I felt a little bit of warning of personal harm, yet I jumped in front of the charging bull. I got hit full on. I stumbled, yet stayed upright, my ribs hurting. I then stared down the bull, my golden eyes playing a mesmerizing tune to the bull. The bull then turned around and walked all the way back into the pen as docile as a little lamb. The adults of the town applauded me, for I had saved the town's Rose, the ever-known beautiful woman from the most respected family. It didn't make me feel much better. It was she got saved. If I had saved a beggar, I would have felt the same, yet no one would bat an eye. I went uphill. Really? Scylla, Bob. What you doing, Bob?
I'm playing PlayStation.
Okay, guys, I'll be back in a minute. I'm just moving location. Don't worry, because background noise is gonna come in. My room. Okay, sorry guys. It appears that I just got trolled by Scylla. Likely, if you've seen any of my other videos. I went uphill to the church where Matthias was. He said, "You have become valiant. Your deed today showed how my training paid off. Though now that I have seen this, you do not need." He left on the ship that he had arrived. This put me back on square one. The children were not quite children anymore. Their fathers handed them down their guns. I hid in the woods during the day, for they attempt to shoot me. In fact, one Sunday they shot out the windows to the church. Priest looked down to Master for accepting us. The woman that I saved took her possessions because I had taken her right to be saved by a real valiant man. That's a jerk move. We stayed at the church for years. We saw Master age, yet after we were fully grown, we did not age with him. After 20 years, people had started to like us and went to Sunday Mass when we held it. We knew how long the time was because we asked them. It was 1681. Yet it took many more years before the Englishman was just in my subconscious. Drift back into conscious mind. "Matthias, you're still alive!" "No, Matthias is my father's name. He has long passed. I am Sir Thomas. You must be the beast that father obsessed about, Mishes." "Oh, yes, what a fine creature you are." I understood the sarcasm in his voice. "Your father saw my honor in my eyes. Either you cannot, or you are afraid to look into them." "I ought to after the camp." I recognized what he was talking about, my eyes blazing too bright, and that he continued speaking. "I can see that you are noble, yet you might be too much so. You would sacrifice yourself to one of us, and we humans are in a jam without your bigness. Not to mention if your powers have any more accidents." He is right. Maybe what I find good is too much for the whole. Yet my caring too much for the whole is actually bad. I am the only real hope that they got, so I must be capable of more good than nothing. The people do not understand me as usual, so I will find Egg. Okay, guys, that concludes part 6. Can't believe I've already done 6 parts for this book. I will be back again after uploading probably tomorrow. But see you guys. This is Chicken Man, and I'll be back now.